second grade. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday we learned about tally marks. Today we're going to be learning about line plots. We're going to imagine that I asked each one of my friends how many pets they had. We all know that Gabby has a lot of pets. So let's start by writing down this data or group of numbers on our number line. Okay, so we're going to start and we're going to look at the first person. So the first person had 2 dogs. So we're going to put a 2 up here. Okay, and then our second person had 1 cat. So we're going to go ahead and put a 1 right here. And then our third person had 2 turtles. That's what Jason has. Jason has 2 turtles. We're going to put a little comma. And then we have our fourth person who has 2 hamsters. We know somebody in here who has 2 hamsters. That would be Gabby. Now we have our fifth person has 4 goldfish. And we have a couple of friends in here, including our class, who has fish or goldfish. So let's go ahead and put down the number 4 for the goldfish. And then our last one, we have a friend who has 4 birds. Now Miss Calhoun has 1 bird. This friend has 4 birds. That's a lot of birds. We're going to put down our number 4. These numbers are a set of data. Now we could show the data using numbers, but we could also show this data using a line plot. A line plot has plenty of X's. So what we do is when we do a line plot is we start off, we have the smallest number goes to the left. So we would put a number 1 right here. And then we would have our larger number would go to the right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a number 4 right over here. And then what we're going to do is in between, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our 2, squeeze it in, and then we're going to squeeze in our 3. Then we're going to put a little line here, line here, line here, and then we're going to put another line here. Okay. We put an X, remember, for our number of our data. So let's go ahead and let's look at the number of pets we have up here. So we have 2 pets. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put an X by the 2. Let's go ahead and cross that one off. Now we have, our next number is 1. So let's go ahead and put an X by the 1. Let's go ahead and cross that off so we don't forget. Our next number is a 2. We're going to go and we're going to put another X by our 2. We're going to cross off our 2. And then our next pet is 2 again. Let's go ahead and we're going to put another X by the 2. Let's go ahead and cross off that 2. Now our next number is 4. That's a lot of pets. So we're going to come way over here and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a X right by the 4. Let's go ahead and cross off our 4 here. And then we have another friend who has 4 pets. I think that might have been the birds. So let's go ahead and let's put another X over here. And then we're going to cross off. Oh, Miss Catherine's getting dizzy. We're going to cross off this 4 right here. Lastly, we need a title showing what the data is. So we're going to call this line plot My Friend's Pets. Let's go ahead and write it down. My Friends Pets. That sounds like a great title. So this is just one way to organize data. So let's go ahead and let's go over to our worksheet. So we're now going to be on bottom. And we are going to be doing the reteach part for the using line plots to organize data. Okay, so let's look at the first part together and Ms. Calhoun will read it to you. The line plot shows the size in centimeters of a group of caterpillars. Each X represents one caterpillar. To find the range of this set of data, you subtract the least number from the greatest number. So that would be 7 minus 1 equals 6. So the range of the data is 6. To find the mode of this set of the data, you look to see which centimeter measure appears most often on the line plot. 3 centimeters has the most X's above it. So the mode of the data is 3 centimeters. Let's go down to the next, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do 1 through 6. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. A group of third graders, you read along with me, a group of third graders sold tomato plants to help buy a new flagpole for the school. The number of tomato plants students sold is shown on the line plot. Use the line plot to answer 1 through 6. Remember, each X represents one student. So let's go to number 1. Remember, we're looking at the number of plants sold, and then down below, the 1 through 8 is the number of plants we have. Okay, and each X represents one student. So for number 1, it says, what is the mode of this data? Well, there is mode means most. Remember, mode means most. So that would be 5. 5 students sold 5 plants. How many students sold exactly 5 plants each? That would be 6 students. Number 3. How many students sold exactly 6 plants? So let's look at our number line. Let's see how many students sold exactly 6 plants. Well, that would be 1 student because there's 1 X. Now let's go down to number 4. How many students sold fewer, so that's less, than 5 plants each? So we're going to look at our number line and we're going to look and we're going to see, okay, so down below is the number of plants. Okay, and remember, each X represents a student. So how many students sold fewer than 5 plants? So that would be how many? Look at your line plot. Right, that would be 7 students. Number 5, let's go down to number 5. What is the range of this data? That would be, again, 7 students. Now for number 6 is a reasoning. We have 2 students who sold exactly the same number of plants. How many could they have sold? You have to list all of the possible answers. So 2 students sold exactly the same number of plants. How many could they have sold? List all of the possible answers. So we would have 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Well, that is all of the answers to page 49 for using line plots to organize data. And I know this was just a little bit harder than our tallies that we did yesterday. So if you have any questions at all, then I need you to save them for me, because when we do our live on Wednesday, I can answer anything that you might need to know about using line plots to organize data. So we will see you on Wednesday live. And remember, any questions about line plots, remember them, write them down, and then we will answer them on Wednesday during our live. Miss you and can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday.